6:03. I'll call the meeting to order at 6:03. We have a pledge of allegiance and a moment of silence. Pledge allegiance to the
flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, we have approval of the agenda.
Motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
You don't have anything, Russ?
No changes, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We have some announcements. While Bob is getting unbuttoned. We have announcements. The deliberative session is scheduled for Wednesday, February 4th at 7 p.m. at the Prospect Mountain High School auditorium. If necessary, a snow date is scheduled for the following night, Thursday, February 5th. Winter Carnival is scheduled for Sunday, February 15th from 8 o'clock till 4 o'clock down at the Bay. Bob, would you like to... Oh, okay, yes. Oh, one more. Excuse me. It was great sadness that the Alton Police Department announces the passing of K9 Zeke. He passed away peacefully at home on January 29, 2015, surrounded by his loving family. K9 officer Chris Johnson and his wife, Krista. This is a sudden and upsetting loss, as Zeke was a beloved member of our department and the Alton community. Zeke will be remembered for his 7 years of dedicated service to the town of Alton and his 11 years as a faithful partner and friend to K9 Officer Johnson. During Zeke's time with the department, he was instrumental in countless investigations and searches. Zeke was also known for the kind and gentle demeanor and with community members. Zeke was often the center of attention in K9 demonstrations all around the state. Zeke always managed to win over the crowd and put a smile on people's face. His passing is felt by the whole community, but he will never be forgotten. Now, Bob, we have you scheduled for an appointment. You'd like to come up?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The subject is Lakes Region Public Access and Membership Fee. I have some props here. Russ Bailey legitimately pointed out some years ago that only about a third of the townspeople were on cable, and yet all taxpayers were paying, what, $14,000 a year to get channels 24, 25, and 26 on. But now that's changed in that LRPA is also streaming. So if you're on the internet, anybody, even in Florida, could tune in. Here is the Alton Selectmen's Meeting of October 18th, 1999. This is the first Selectmen's Meeting that was recorded and put on Channel 26. And I've since made a DVD of it so I can leave it with the Historical Society. But my mission here tonight is that the policy of LRPA is anybody can watch it, but only dues-paying members can originate shows on it. And this was the camera I was kind of born with. But last year I went into my savings account and got the latest and greatest high definition. So I am intending on doing quite a few things. We have the Winter Carnival coming up. We have the barber shoppers coming to town. There'll be a home week parade. Those are all kinds of things that I'd like to shoot and get on Channel 25. But unless Alton pays his dues, that they won't play it. So my request is please give it very favorable consideration, not just for my ego getting on Channel 25, but there used to be 2 other guys in town that would video. I have one of them moved away, and I'm not aware what the other guy's doing. But now that Peter Pawan is retired from Wolfboro, he might be doing some video locally. So, in summary, please look favorably upon what is the dues that they're looking for?
They're asking for $14,127.
They're back to 14th thou.
Huh?
They're back to 14th thou? Oh,
That was why there was an issue.
yeah. Inflation. I mean, they were going to greatly reduce it back when I was on the board. I'm sorry to see them go back up to 14th thou. That does. If I were you, I guess I would think twice about it. So, but that's my case. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Bob.
Bob.
Thank you, Bob. Okay, now we've moved on to Selectmen's Committee reports. Have any committee reports? No? I will say the Old Home Week Committee met. They've got quite a few ideas for some events during the whole week. They're trying to fill in the whole week between our original Old Home Weekend and now the new barbershops weekend that's going to be the next. So they're trying to have a whole full week of events and things. So very exciting what they're trying to pull. I think they're going to have some new ideas. They've got some new ideas of things that will happen, and I think it will be a great project this year for the town. Anything else? Well, town administrator reports and updates.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, just an update on Levy Park. In reference to the crosswalk, we had discussed it probably about a month ago. The state is insisting on certain things be done. The cost would probably be, including labor, and that would be the highway department, probably about $300 or $400 minimum in material, and probably $600 in labor to get that cut into the. We'd have to have it like ramped down for the handicap access, along with a plate. Because when you do that, you're required to have a plate that tells someone that they're going into a crosswalk and everything. So I haven't had a chance to check on the overhead lighting issue to see if that would be an extra cost or if we have a street light down there that could be moved. So I'll check further on that. And that wouldn't include the cost of doing the crosswalk itself, but that would be done under the bid at minimum price, along with all the other crosswalks.
Any questions? Okay.
The other issue, is the auction of the town property. We have finalized pretty much the entire auction. And actually in the next meeting I'll have a final numbers for you. We had 3 properties that weren't sold. 2 of those were sold, but the buyers pulled out. We do have their deposits that have been retained. One that we never sold at auction. And we have one that we're sending a contact out on to in reference to the sale of their property, since it was done within a 3-year period. So at the next meeting I'll have a final number for you, but that number will be tentative depending on whether or not we hear back from that party that we sold their property on. And that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Any report, any questions, Russ? Oh. Okay, I'll open public input 1, and our rules for public participation is on the back page of the agenda at the table. You enter.
Is it open?
Yes.
I'm going to start my clock here so I don't get shortchanged on my 5 minutes. My name is Jeffrey Clay, and I'm from Alton. And every time I show up here, it is with my most fervent hope that I'm going to find that you folks have resigned. But you still continue to show an unwillingness to step up to the plate, take responsibility for your poor actions as selectmen, and resign. I'm asking you to do that now. It just takes 2 words. Stand up, admit I take responsibility for all my poor decisions, for my poor actions, for the continued violation of the citizens' rights here in Alton.
Point of the
And
order. Is this a character assassination?
And resign. All you have to do is stand up and say,
hey,
I resign.
That
would be a good thing for you to do, to say,
have a point of
I
order.
resign. You just stand up and say, I resign.
We have a point of order at this time. Does it
It's my understanding
have a
this,
second on the point
it's
of
my
order?
understanding this board does
Second.
not pertain to Robert's
Second.
rules of order.
Okay, and
You do not
do you feel that he's violating the
Do you or do you not go with Robert's rules of order?
libelous,
We won't answer the question,
Statements.
right?
Yes.
is the board feel that the
You really need to
comments
stand up and
currently done
resign.
is a libelous
The public needs to hear
inflammatory
you do
statements?
that.
discussion?
I got to stop my time here.
All in favor of closing down public input at this time because of the defamatory statements made by Mr. Clay? Say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Public input's closed.
Integrity is the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles, moral uprightness.
You are
It
done,
is
Mr.
generally
Clay.
a personal choice to uphold oneself
Clay,
to
I'm
consistently
asking
moral
you
and
second
ethical
time.
standards.
Mr.
Integrity
Clay,
also
I'm telling
demands
you the third
knowledge
time.
and compliance with both the letter and the
Chief, would you
spirit
please ask him?
of the written and unwritten rules. To this end, this board is
I'm telling him
morally
that he's-
corrupt. It is bankrupt.
He can sit in the audience.
It
but
is
he's
without
done with public
integrity.
input.
We citizens pay the
Public
price.
input is closed.
You want to take your hands off me, please?
You've been
Take your
asked
hands
to
off me,
leave.
please.
You've been asked to
Take
leave.
your hands off me, please.
You've been asked
Take
to
your
leave.
hands off me,
Are you going to
please.
stand up and leave?
We citizens,
do not, I'm gonna
we the,
place you under arrest
we the
for
citizens pay
participating in
the
direct
price in legal fees
Come on.
for your representation.
Come on.
2 little words,
Mr.
resign.
Clay, come on.
Am I under arrest?
Come on. You're going to be if you don't listen to me.
Stand up and resign now. Alton deserves better. Audacity is defined as boldness and daring, especially with confident, arrogant disregard for laws and rules and policies.
Clay, you've been warned the third time now.
Continued violations cannot be tolerated by the public.
Public input has been
Stand
closed.
up, take responsibility for your willful violations of the rights of the community. Resign. Do it now. 2 little words.
Okay.
Stand up and resign. How can
Now
you
you're gonna-
possibly hold...
Okay, now you are under arrest.
Okay.
Come on. Come on. Come on.
Do we have any other
He hit the
public?
panic button, so he has some,
Oh,
he was trying to get back up.
he's going.
Yeah, he
No,
was.
But he
Okay,
was trying
yep.
to get back up.
Any other public input? Yep. Could you just move that over, Bob, for us? That'd be fine. Thank you.
I would just like the record to show that one citizen is very happy with the select people, and you don't have to stand up and resign on my account. I like what you're doing. I've just been running down the agenda, and I see new business. There's a senior center, a tent purchase, and also the MetroCast letter. I think I need more on that, although I just looked at the package, and I guess that's taken care of. But on the tent purchase for the senior center, It's not the kind of tent that I had in mind. I envisioned eventually that the senior center, community center, will become our voting place. It'd be much more convenient than Prospect Mountain High School and the long walk in and stuff. But one of the reasons I heard, no, we can't do that, is at the Prospect Mountain High School, they have this nice overhang for all the politicians to stand outside and do their electioneering as you enter, and that's not available at the senior center. So I'd like to see a three-sided tent that you can put outside where the politicians can do their last-minute lobbying. And this tent...
Mr. Chairman, can I respond to that? I can remember standing outside of the fire station on many a cold and windy day campaigning.
Yep.
I don't think that's ever been discussed here as a reason why we can't move it.
Well,
Is it big enough?
I think traffic flow may be an issue.
Yeah. How about if could we actually make 2 polling systems, or would that be a nightmare?
You have to have the moderator.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't know exactly I can't tell you what the tent exactly is going to be, Bob, but...
well, from reading in here, it's a big four-sided tent that would go over on the side patio, and that wouldn't do the job to protect the politicians and their last-minute urging of your votes. So that's my suggestion on that, and I see the MetroCast letter. It's just that they're notifying you that they won't be doing 24, 25, and 26 anymore. So be it. All right.
Thank you very
Thanks,
much, Bob.
Any other public input? I see no one else. Okay, we'll move on to approval of the selectmen's minutes. We have January 7th.
Motion to approve the January 7th workshop session 1 as presented.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Motion to
Okay, make your motion.
Motion to approve the non-public workshop session of January 7th, opening numbers 2. I would like to open number 3, but I believe there needs to be a correction made to the wording. So I don't know if we should table these minutes and bring them back.
I would.
I'd like to table them.
I'd leave 3 sealed for now.
Leave 3 sealed and then bring them back and...
If you feel there's a wording issue.
Okay.
Okay, so we're not going to table, we're just going to do number 2.
Open number 2.
Open number 2.
What about number 3?
That's where the wording...
That's where we
Okay.
review them. I think we have. No, we don't have tapes, but I think we ought to review number 3 for the wording. And we can do... Well,
Something unclear there that I'm missing?
Well, I can't discuss that issue, non-public session,
Okay.
unless it's in another non-public session. So, catch 22 here.
Catch 22.
So we're opening number 2, and they're going to revisit number 3. Is the motion? No, the camera's going. Let's get the camera going. Okay, any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Public session 2 of January 7th.
Motion to approve public session 2 of January 7th as presented.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Motion to approve the public session 1 minutes of January 14th as presented.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Non-public workshop session, January 14th.
Hang on.
Yep.
January 14th.
Yep, 14th, non-public.
Motion to approve the non-public workshop session of January 14th, opening numbers 2, 3, and 7.
Second.
Number 5. Number 5.
Oh,
What's your input on number 5, Russ?
I would strike the words, anything following issues. I would strike starting at on and pick it back up at, and asked. So, striking.
Okay, so number
on
5,
to-
strike after issues
Yep,
and
through process.
to process.
That would be my amendment.
Everyone understand? So we're opening 2, 3, amending 5, and did you have 7? 7.
So,
Okay. Everyone understand what we're doing? The motion? Okay.
is there a second?
Dave, okay?
Oh, I'm sorry, second. I thought I already did it.
Okay, I don't want, I want to make sure you all know what we were cutting.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know exactly.
Okay, we got second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public session, January 14th, public session 2.
Motion to approve, as presented.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
We have Tuesday, January 20th.
Motion to approve January 20th public hearing regarding road reconstruction, as presented.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Motion to approve January 20th public workshop, as presented.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah, old business, review the 2015 warrant, articles on budget. So we all seen these, I don't think there are any changes.
Now, this is the new format. It's
Okay,
in your book.
This is what we'll have tomorrow night?
Well, that's what the public will have.
Oh,
Okay, is that one. Now, your worksheets are our old format off of our spreadsheet because we couldn't.
the book you gave us last week.
Right. But this is the new format as required now by the state that we have to input.
And I would say we might just want to use this one. If you recall, there were some issues on Saturday. People were trying to make amendments, and they would say by line, and it was different what...
Oh, because the
they had on
spacing's a little different.
Right. It was different
From
what
the-
they had on stage, so it was hard for people.
Because the school had their old one and a new one.
Right. So we might want to have what they have in the audience, just to make it
okay.
easier.
Now, we've got, this is a handout for tomorrow night. We have the default budget, which is also a new form. And one of the things about that is that it's got question marks. I mentioned this to you before.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
On all the lines. And those are not because there's something wrong. It's just the queue system that if you're in the computer and you want to look up what those lines represent, you just click on that question mark and it tells you what lines are included in that category.
So it's a link.
Yeah, but they print it out with it. And so we're
Is there a
Locked
line?
into
Is
that.
there a line under the question mark? Is it underlined?
It's in a little circle with a question mark.
I'm thinking a lot of people probably would just recognize that as a link.
Yeah.
People are computer literate.
And then there'll be the MS 737 now. It's no longer the MS 7. They changed the number, changed the format a little bit. We'll have a copy of that. And we started making copies of all of the road reconstruction. So I don't know if we wanted to talk at all more about road reconstruction. I have the handouts that we had for the public hearing. And right now we're up to 60 copies, and it's a lot of paper, especially those big sheets. And it's all with a color, and which we pay extra for on our machine. But if anybody can tell me for sure how many people are going to show up.
It's a toss of the coin. They'll have to share. You know.
So we'll still run more tomorrow. I mean, I've got 100 of the other black and white. Well,
Well, it certainly hasn't been 60 people in a number of years, so.
Yeah.
And that wasn't for the school.
Maybe, I was going to say, maybe you hold on to them until somebody asks for it. I don't know.
all right. Well, we'll run a few more, but it's just at some point it becomes a waste of money running them through.
Well, we can always, like Dave said, we can have people share and tell them that there'll be copies available at the town hall before the voting day.
And were you going to put
Right,
a
if we come
link
short.
on the computer?
Well, yes, we've had a few issues with the website, which hopefully is going to get resolved shortly. But yes, we'll have it set up so people can go in and look at all this. The warrant and the budget and all of that are already on the website. If you go in on it, you can find all those things.
They don't have a PowerPoint screen at the school.
Yeah,
They do.
It was very hard to see at the school one because it was off to the side over to,
Oh, that's the one that got
Dial way over.
That's the one that got turned off.
and it kind of bleaches out in the lights in there,
Yeah,
where I was sitting, but.
yeah. I didn't even
Well,
know.
there's enough time, I think, between the deliberative and when they vote for people to be able to come into the town hall and request a copy.
Yeah,
or
and
to
that's,
get
maybe
a
make
link.
that notified right off, anybody that wants to read it.
Sure.
But I think we need to probably discuss this in every meeting, the road reconstruction between now and elections. It's an uphill battle to get people to approve a 60%. But hopefully the message can get out there that if we don't do this, we're going to be further and further behind on getting our roads maintenance done and road repairs done. So I don't know if there's anything else that anybody needs for tomorrow night.
Do you have our copies of the books?
Yeah, you had mine.
You
right
have your book.
I thought I gave you my book.
Did you give it back to me? Okay, then it's in my room.
Yeah.
Right. Let me look for it after the meeting.
It's the one with the handwriting you can't understand.
Right.
So-
Yeah, I'll have extra copies for everyone if as needed.
Any other issues or questions about the deliberative session, tomorrow night's deliberative session? Okay.
I think it's going to be a learning session for me.
Anybody want to take bets when we'll get done? No?
Uh-huh.
I'm guessing 10.
10? Okay, 10 o'clock.
Depends.
I'll take that bet.
It all depends.
Okay, barbershopper's proclamation. And what exactly are we doing with this? I mean, what do we do other than,
It's
are
just-
we going to post this or what, put it in the paper?
I don't know. You tell me.
Well, I've never done it, so I don't, I've never seen any proclamations.
To put this in the paper, we would hope they would do it for free.
Yeah.
Because to put this in the paper, the full length, we're talking $300 or $400, and I can't really recommend that.
No,
Why don't we,
We could put it on the website.
okay,
We could post it around on the town hall,
yeah,
library,
yeah.
Museum.
We could just give it to the Laconia chapter of the Society for the Preservation and Encouragement of Barbershop Quartet Singing. And then they
Okay.
can do with it what they please.
Okay.
Do you need additional signatures on
Yeah.
this?
Right, I do need additional signatures. You see if it's in this pile.
You know, the other thing is maybe we could give copies to local businesses. Maybe they would post it.
Yep. Okay, Jonathan's doing this. I was going to say the old home weekend, but I don't know how it would tie in with them.
Do we, in the area, which breaks
Here's
away
the
from this a little bit,
original, where I need the
down by the bay, do we have anywhere where we could post things? You know, like a little waterproof,
Yes,
Yeah. Yes.
someplace
by the
else? to
town
put it?
dock.
Yeah.
There's one.
And isn't there one on the side of the railroad? The old community, what do they call it, community center now? I think there's one there, right?
Yeah, there is. There's that one that's freestanding.
Be at the chamber.
The chamber uses. There might be one at the chamber. I'm not sure if we have one right in front of our building or not, or our side of the building.
I'm not sure we want
Mark's
to
supposed to
post
come
it
late.
too early.
Pardon?
So I'm not sure we want to post it too early. They'll start to get yellowed and old.
Wait till the 13th?
Well, no, I was thinking
Sorry, only kidding.
July.
Well, do we want to read this at the deliberative session? I mean, you've got the bet for the 10 o'clock. I mean, that will, make it a little longer. No. I don't know if I've ever read one at the town,
Huh?
at the town meeting. Have they ever, I don't believe I've ever heard them read one of these at the town meeting, but I suppose at the deliberative session.
There is no rule of thumb that covers that. It really is up to the moderator and the people in the audience about how much additional stuff they want to have other than what was warned for the meeting.
Okay, I'll work it in somehow.
No, with the deliberative
Like that.
session, come to a certain time, I'm going to have to go, I'm going to have to leave. Only because, I've got a personal issue where I have to be in Manchester at 6:30 in the morning.
Oh, you leave tonight, you mean, this meeting?
No, tomorrow night.
Deliberative.
I have to be at
Deliberative?
6:30 in the morning in Manchester
Okay,
on Thursday morning.
okay,
Okay.
I'll explain to you what that is afterwards.
right, okay. All right, we'll work on something, with maybe Mark Northridge. Anything else on that one? Review, approve the grant for the DWI, DUI patrols. This is our regular DUI grants, regular one we usually have every year.
Do we have to approve them separately?
There's only
Two.
It's just one, isn't it? It's called one. Just one, isn't it?
Is there two of them up there? Because usually with the DWI enforcement, there's another one called speed enforcement.
We did that last meeting.
Last meeting, okay, then this was
Just the
just
one.
this one grant, then it's just the regular DWI patrols.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
in other
it's
states,
just the one.
In other states, they call it DUI, right? Probably that's why it's got the DWI, DUI.
Yeah.
Yeah, just different state terminology.
Okay, motion to approve the Highway Safety Project grant for Alton DWI DUI Patrol. Total amount of $7,488.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Aye. Okay, that passed. New business, land use items, recommended by the town assessor. Let me do that one.
Motion to approve the land use items dated January 22nd. Number 1, 2014 abatement request on map 34, lot 33, 36 for $183. Map 41, Lot 48, in the amount of $690. Map 8, Lot 23, in the amount of $61. Map 8-3-1, in the amount of $237. And map 46-15 for $1,143. 2014 administrative abatement. Map 34, Lot 33-165 for $286.84. Map 34, Lot 33-169 for $1,291.23. Map 34, Lot 33-168 for $2,035.82. Map 34, Lot 33-167 for $796.31. Map 65, Lot 17-18 for $56.44. We have 2014 veterans credits from Map 2, Lot 1-3 for $500. And 2014 revised solar exemption, Map 12, Lot 67-6 for $17,808.
Are these all elderly exemptions, or what are
No,
these?
they're all different.
Abatements are when you give back money, because maybe they applied for a review, the property, and then the veterans credit is they have to meet a certain requirements, certain years. I think it's years, isn't it? And where they served, too?
Yeah, there are certain requirements for the time of service, when they served, and such. And
The solar exemption is one that the town passed a long time ago. If people take advantage of solar heat.
Yeah, that one I understood.
Yeah.
And I had 3.
In addition to that, motion to approve the veterans tax credits and elderly exemptions as presented on the following 2 pages.
Okay, we have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Can we sign this page tonight? Yes.
Yep.
Okay, okay, before we leave, we're going to sign this paper, okay? It's all right, okay. Senior Center tent purchase. I have a letter about the
Yeah,
tent.
this is from the Senior Center Committee, and would be purchased from the donations that they had under their fundraiser, and it would be used primarily in the back over the patio, with the idea that would be a lot more usage out there for the seniors and other events. But it wouldn't be just used by the seniors. Anybody else using the building would be able to use it also. The other thing would be is if we had any kind of special activity, town activity, like Old Home Day or Memorial Day or anything like that, we could take the tent from there and place it someplace else in town for a town function, because it will belong to the town.
What kind of tent is it?
It's one of those party-type tents that you see where people will rent for weddings and stuff. They're real heavy-duty with the sides.
So the sides can come off, and
Yes.
I was picturing an army tent for some reason.
No.
You know, this huge
surplus.
army tent.
No.
Now, what about liability, insurance liability for this?
It would just be included under our umbrella automatically.
And if I guess it would be different, wouldn't it, if it's located on this concrete pad, kind of, versus moved around? Should we talk to our insurance company about that part of it?
Well, yeah, we can talk with them and
Yeah.
make sure there's no issues.
Right.
The main thing is if we did move it someplace else, we'd want to make sure it was properly installed and everything. That's the key.
So we may have to have like a instruction manual type thing to make sure it's secure and all that, right? Probably.
That's the only problem I have is the storage about it, how it's how it's put away, because they mildew real quick. I was wondering if you'd be better off to look into one of those that come off the building. You know what I mean?
Oh, the awnings?
The awnings, like.
I think they're talking about more could be moved around.
Yeah.
Multi-purpose. I would think we could have some kind of instruction manual to make sure that doesn't happen about the mildew.
Oh.
And then ask the insurance company some guidelines.
Yeah.
All right.
It's got to be taken care of very well.
Yes.
So it'll rot.
Yeah, you can't put it away wet. Okay, so they're requesting approval from the board to use some of the remaining private donation funds to purchase this tent. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Any further discussion?
Second.
Need a second? No second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
I'll
Opposed?
abstain on that one.
You opposed?
What's that?
Were you opposed, you said?
Not opposed, just abstained.
Okay. Abstain. One abstention.
I'd like to know more about it.
Okay. Okay. Three aye and one abstention. Landfill compliance.
This is the annual contract that we have with our engineer, who monitors the test results, prepares the annual report, is in contact with the state. He coordinates all the activities with the state, responds to any letters and issues they have about any of our test wells and such. And he's also right now working on setting up a meeting, hopefully in the near future, on a drainage issue out there that we talked about last year. So this is really very necessary that we have the engineer online working with the state to make sure that we're fulfilling our requirements on the landfill closure and monitoring. And so the initial contract for the basic items is $9,000.
Okay, so do we have a motion to continue the contract for $9,000 with CAD?
So moved.
Could I add on there to authorize me to sign?
And authorize Russ to sign?
So moved.
Second.
What was the cost of the contract last year?
I'm thinking it was around 12 because we had some extra things we had to do. And a year before that, we had the two new monitoring wells included, and they were included in the initial contract.
He did a lot of work on the Dahl property, right?
Yeah, he did all that work.
And this is the same company?
It's the same company we've been using for probably the last 6-7 years at least.
Yeah.
The numbers are starting to go down a little, aren't they?
There's a slight trend.
Yeah,
it's not great, but
at least it's not heading in the
right. It's,
Within 10,000 years, we ought to be okay.
Exactly.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Unanimous? Poll petition? New Hampshire Co-op? Good evening, Mac. Macdikoff showed up at 7...
6.
A 6?
6:46.
45. We're on poll petition with the New Hampshire Electric Co-op.
Did somebody request this? Because they don't generally decide to come up and do that.
what's driving them to do it, I can't answer that, but this is from the electric company. This is pretty much, there's a lot of work they're doing on Drew Hill, and they must have some reasons why, I'm not sure.
Just for new poles.
New polls.
New poles is,
Poll, new polls. So
Well, quite a few of them, huh?
yeah.
14 of them.
just replacing the lot.
Yeah, it just
Streets
replaced the line,
lines on that.
making it a little taller, probably going up to a 3-phase.
Don't get Mark
I
excited
know.
like that.
I'm getting excited.
Okay,
Make a motion to approve the electric co-op pole permit license number 3587 on Drew Hill Road.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Metrocast letter.
We kind of covered that in the appointment with Mr. Longabout. Basically, is that as of March 20th, they'll no longer be broadcasting anything that's sent.
Well, I think
You'll still be able to get on those channels, but you'll just hear the other towns. You won't see anything from Alton.
I think the public ought to know that they can see these broadcasts now on the.
They can go onto the town website and watch
Website.
any of the
I
meetings.
think we had a big discussion one night on that.
Yeah.
Might want to work that.
Going back to Mr. Longabout, is there any reason why we couldn't put his videos on the website? If he took videos, could we post them? If we found them acceptable, obviously, post them on his website so the.
Well, I think if it's a
Still see
town
them?
function, it's a town event.
Yep.
But when you get into non-town events, I think we need to have a lot of discussion and legal review.
Yeah, I would agree. Yep.
They did have everybody coming in.
Okay, so the board has decided to not participate with them anymore. Is there any change? Anyone wants to make a motion to change what we decided we're going to do? We've had input now. Do we want it? And we said we weren't going to pay for this anymore.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Is there
Yes.
anybody want to bring it up that we change our view?
I haven't.
No.
No. Okay. Special events application, Winter Carnival.
I motion we approve the special events for the Alton Business Association for the Winter Carnival and 2/15/15 from 8 to 4.
Any further discussion?
I have a question. It says that the Alton Police Department's going to be providing security. Have you been approached to provide security?
I got an email the other day from
It's just for the signature.
They have been in contact with me, and typically what happens each year is that we, post a little extra coverage down in the pay. I mean, the term providing security is a kind of a misstatement. We're going to be there in our general duties as law enforcement officers. We will provide some extra coverage to ensure that the event is safe and orderly, and also make sure that there's no parking, trailer issues, things like that, congestion, or hazards. So we will monitor that. That's typically what we do unless there's some change in the board. I mean, we've done the Winter Carnival typically similar to, not quite as much involvement, but similar to the way that we participate in Old Home Day for the town.
Thank you.
So do we have a second on Mark's
Second.
motion? Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public input 2? You have no public?
I've got something, maybe I should have brought it up earlier,
Okay.
and I guess I don't know if this goes to you, or it's a request for handicap parking signs.
Okay, so it's a request for 2 signs.
I guess from what I can understand, the area is actually a town-owned, it's the town-owned parking space across from the school.
Okay.
And it's marked on the concrete, but in the wintertime when the concrete's covered, people use it because they can't see it.
Okay, let's put that on the next agenda, and we'll put this in our packet, and can't do much anyway with the frozen ground.
That's a bad thing, because we're supposed to put some no parking signs around that corner.
Yep.
Because cars are starting to park there.
Where
Up
Church
here.
Street comes down?
Right across from the insurance company, over
Up here.
in here.
We're talking about two different areas.
Okay, this is by the school.
Yeah, I'm just saying that we got
Oh,
another.
it's another place,
Another
okay.
problem there. Have you noticed that, Chief? Across from the insurance company where we did all the work there, cars are starting to park on the right-hand side.
Yeah, they park all the way along.
Yeah.
Get a cost of the signs, too.
They have noticed they've been parking there. It doesn't really seem to provide
I
a
would
crazy
put-
hazard, but it depends on how big the vehicle is.
Yeah.
Versus a
Yeah, but
compact car.
the
Well, they
plan
had a
called
guy
for
had a
those
boat in
parking
a trailer there
spots.
the other day. It was footing big.
Yeah, the plan called for those spots to be eliminated.
But if it becomes a hazard, we'll have to
Post.
do something.
Now, this is right across from the,
Right, we eliminated those
Yeah.
two spots.
so when you come
parallel.
around, you know, that
Right, just
boat was
because there
sticking
wasn't
out.
enough,
Yeah,
because we got to redo that
yeah.
entrance anyway in the spring.
Okay. Oh, so we'll put on that on the next agenda and find out how much the cost of those are. Okay?
Okay.
Anything else?
Is this going to the paper?
Yeah, it's a press release, yeah.
Okay.
This one, the press release, correct?
The one on Zeke.
Yes, that already, it
Yeah.
actually hit this morning.
Oh, okay.
It hit this morning, and we posted the same exact thing on Facebook as well.
Okay.
Just for general knowledge, it was viewed by 6,400 people.
Nice.
this morning,
Wow.
And we got 115 comments. All very positive things. Very good showing.
All right, I'll move that we enter into non-public session pursuant to RSA 91-A:3, Roman numeral 2, A, personnel, C, character reputation, and E, claims litigation. Have a second.
Second.
All in favor? Dave?
Aye.
Lou?
Aye.
Mark, yes.
Aye. Sydney?
Yes.
Loring? Aye. Thank you. We're in non-public.